If you want to see me create another look using the Tiny Marvels palette by Sydney Grace and Mel Thompson, then stick around. Hi there, it's Hélène, and oh yes, we are going to play with this palette one more time, or at least I am. I seem to use the royal we a lot these days. I discovered this palette just based on Mel Thompson's channel. I highly recommend you check it out. She does fantastic tutorials. I'll put her channel right there. I really enjoy them, and I trust her judgment when it comes to eyeshadows. So when she was collaborating with one of her favorite brands, which is Sydney Grace, I did not hesitate. I went straight for it, did not pass go, did not collect $200. I just went and set a timer for this palette. If you want to see the swatches and my first impressions with this palette, I will have them pop up here with the related card, just for ease of reference. I did a beautiful look. Let me just show you the palette. I did a beautiful look, at least in my estimation, using the center column here. And I really, really enjoyed it. I also used web and spider. It was such a pretty look. And then I saw Lauren May Beauty, I'll put her channel right there, do her 3 looks with this palette, and this was last night, and I just was itching to get back into this palette. And that's what I'm doing today. So what I want to do today is use more this area right here. And when I did my first impressions, I was saying that it was really hard to stay away from Scarab. Well, I am going to use that today. So I'm going to use these 4. I think. We will see, plus web probably for the brow bone. And on my eye right now, I have the Smashbox Matte Exposure, the wheat color on my lid over a tiny bit of Cover FX #1 cream concealer, which I'm using as primer. It's just a tiny, tiny bit. And yeah, apart from that, I'm looking like a blank canvas, I guess, because my eyebrows are done and my eyes aren't done. So let's remedy the situation, shall we? So since I have a kind of a beige color basically all over the lid and then a shiny brow, I can go in with whatever color I want. And I think I'm going to go in with Luv Bug to start. So we'll do that. And I'm going to use my favorite fluffy brush from XOXO. It's a very fluffy brush, and it's just really nice to put a nice sweep of color all over. I'm going to start in the crease and work my way down. This is just a very basic step, so I'm going to do both eyes right away. A little bit more. And I like the fact that this palette has quite a few cool tones in it. It's not all cool tones, but there are quite a few. And I think it's harder to find colorful cool tone palettes. Now Sydney Grace, I do understand and have noticed that they have more cool tone than maybe some other brands. Just going on the lower lash line here because it's such a light color. Just to tie it all together. I think that looks good. And other side now. So they're not shy in putting together some cool tone eyeshadows and eyeshadow combos. And so if you don't have very much when it comes to cool toned eyeshadows, you may want to check out Sydney Grace. And this is the first palette that I've ever had from the brand. I'm just talking about color story tending to the cool. I'm not vouching for all their eyeshadows. I am very new to the brand. So so far though, I'm really liking what it's been like to use. A little bit more now to deepen up the crease as much as I can deepen things up with Luv Bug because it's pretty light. I've done some pretty deep looks lately, so anything else that's medium or lighter feels very light to me. Okay. I think that looks pretty decent. All right. I am going to go in with BugaBoo on the outer lid and outer crease. And I'm going to switch to a medium size crease brush. And again, BugaBoo is where I'm going. And this one is more pigmented than Luv Bug. I'm going to just stamp on the outer crease and drag it down a little bit. And I'll probably go in with a more precise shadow brush in a minute. I just want to start that deepening up of the outer crease, outer lid. And just being careful not to go up too high with it. That's really nice. Okay. This palette feels very approachable. The first look I did with it, I went for colors that I'm not usually really comfortable with, which is greens. And of course I mentioned Mantis, the middle column earlier in the video. And wow, I mean, how user-friendly is the palette when you feel comfortable using a shadow that you would normally stay away from. So that was nice. Now let me just look at both eyes here. I think they're relatively similar. Okay. I'm just going to take a clean crease brush and just clean up on each side here just to make sure they're even. Okay. Now, I don't feel like deepening up any further, but I will if I need to. I'll go into Spider. What I'd like to do now is to go into Scarab down here. And it's a beautiful duochrome. I'm going to go in with my precise brush, multitasker brush, in the Smashbox brush family. And we're going to go right into the inner lid. I have something on my eye. I'll be right back. Nothing major, a little bit of black eyeliner because I just did apply perversion on my upper waterline right before the video. So sometimes it pulls a little bit in the corner of the eye. I'm sure a lot of us have that issue. And now I'm picking up Scarab with my finger, and it's really reflective. It's really pretty. And I'm just going to stamp it using my ring finger all the way. Like I said, I'll deepen it if I need to. That looks quite nice. I'm going to take my finger and just go on just along the lash line. I don't want to go too far down. Boy, it really does make me think of Lounge by Urban Decay in a big way. Okay, so that looks nice, I think. I'm just going to wipe a little bit of it off right here. Just wiping it off on my hand. Okay, and same thing on the other side. It's nice when you pick up a color and you know that you're going to love it. And Lounge, as I've mentioned before, from Urban Decay is a favorite of mine. So it's really hard to think that Scarab I would not be very big on. Okay, and I'm going to go back in with the other finger now. and stamp it on. And again, same thing on the lash line. Okay, I think they're relatively even. There's just a little bit more on the other side right here. Just trying to make, ooh, I went too far. In my efforts to make the match, I went too far down. Same thing now on both sides. I'm just doing a great job. Okay, got it. All right, so that is what I wanted to do. Now let's take a look. I think that I'm going to add just a little bit of web on the very upper brow bone. I won't cover all of the brow product that I have already, or shiny cream highlighter that I have there. And I'm going to take this flatter brush that is the contour shadow brush, and like I said, I'm just going to go on the very, very top. Not far down at all. Other side as well. And I have a little bit of fallout, so I'm going to just brush that aside because it's distracting me. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. I kind of like, I have to use a Q-tip. The inner right here, I don't know if you can see the red kind of coming down. It's looking really funny. I'm going to take a Q-tip and wipe that shadow off. I will be right back. Okay, I fixed that. I went in, I cleaned it up, and then I went in with a tiny bit of concealer because the red was starting, I have glitter. The red was starting to come down, and we all have those little folds under our eyes, and it was starting to go into the folds. I mean, it looked like, you know how you try to accentuate wrinkles for Halloween looks? It looked like that's what I was trying to do in that little tiny area there. It's not cute, not cute. I was debating whether or not to deepen up on the outer lid with Spider, and I think that today's look, I'm not going to do that. I think I'm just going to play with liner and mascara, and that should be just fine. I really like web on the brow bone. I really think that this is kind of a complete look. I put a bronzer on my cheeks. The Franken shadow that I created in my Pan That palette is on my cheeks. I have Topaz and Gilt from Becca as my lip gloss lip topper. And yeah, for anything else, you can always see in the description box. My whole makeup and skincare is listed there. And so all I think I need to do is some liner and mascara. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do all of that off camera and come back and tell you what I used. Here is the final look. I'm pretty happy with it. Let me just tell you what it is that I used. First off, I reapplied just a tiny bit of the Becca Topaz and Gilt. I'll just give you a swatch of that lip topper. It has blue and kind of pinky purple flecks in it, and I thought that even though it wasn't green, I thought that it would go well with the eyeshadow look that I have on my lid. And I really do like these. I don't see them on Sephora anymore, so I think they're discontinued, but they are nice. I have 3 of them still, and I'm working through them. And I used a couple of liners, so I have 3 here. Alkaline I used in my lower waterline, and it's a pencil I don't usually get to use all that often, but I thought with Scarab and BugaBoo that it would look really quite nice. BugaBoo and, well, Luv Bug is pretty much covered up, so BugaBoo is really the one that is more like this liner. I also reapplied on the inner half of my upper waterline the Perversion mascara. No, the Perversion liner. It usually fades a little bit inner to center of the waterline, upper waterline, and not the outer. So I did not go all the way because I didn't want it to cover alkaline because there is sometimes transfer. And on the upper lash line, I used the Clinique Pretty Easy liner, and it is now dry enough that I attempted a little tiny bit of a flick of a wing on the outer eye. And so far, so good. It's not looking like it's going anywhere. So that's good, okay. It was just super wet for about 40 uses, and now it's getting dry enough that it's not going to mess up your wing because it's too wet, right? It just moves around, goes into your fine lines, is no good. Now, and I don't have that issue with any other liner, so I know that it's not necessarily what my eyes are like. It's how the liner performs on my eye at this point. And Lancôme Définicile is the mascara that I'm using on my upper and lower lashes, and it is pretty much done. It is getting very dry and very hard to get a decent second coat. So I don't think it's going to make it past the end of this month. And I'm okay with it. It's not my favorite mascara, and I have a beautiful, beautiful mascara waiting for me that I'm going to start using because September is my birthday month, and I promised myself, I bought it last holiday, and I said you get to use it starting September, and it's probably going to last me till Christmas, so it's nice because it's a mascara that I really, really love. You will see it in future videos. I'm going to keep you on the edge of your seat if you are a mascara lover. And I even think this look goes with my nails today, so I'm pretty happy about that as well. It is called Moondust from the Ciate Many Month calendar. It's an advent calendar full of nail polishes. If you want to see my latest video for that, I will have it right there. I think we're done other than talking about setting spray. And I used the Cover FX High Performance Setting Spray, and I was not crazy about the sprayer when I just started using it, but I had put it away for a while and brought it back, and I think it just got a little bit gummy at the spray nozzle because now it is spraying beautifully. It's a mist you can barely feel, kind of like the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist, but in a pump style. And I am really enjoying this one quite a bit. So that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed this second look using the Tiny Marvels, the collaboration between Mel Thompson and Sydney Grace. I'm really enjoying it, and so far it looks like I've used about half the palette. I've used, 4, 7, 8. 8 shadows, and the palette has 15, so I'm doing all right. If you have or are considering getting this palette, or you have this palette and you are wondering about certain combinations, let me know. I wouldn't be against doing some other looks with it. I'm definitely curious about this color for sure. So let me know. I am open to suggestions and am really enjoying using it. So let me know what you think of the look. I appreciate your comments and feedback always. And with that, I will say thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it every single time. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. But for now, take care.